In this video, we will explore the different MyStar tools and resources that are provided for teachers to conduct assessments of the MyStar curriculum, which is aligned with the Next Generation Science Standards and the Michigan Science Standards. In the MyStar curriculum, there are multiple opportunities for assessing your students. These range from formal assessments to more informal assessments. In addition, there are a variety of assessments that can be used formatively and summatively. MyStar provides three types of formal assessments. The first type are pre-tests and post-tests. The second type of formal assessments are embedded assessments. These assessments are embedded within phases of the curriculum. Finally, we also provide answer keys or grading rubrics for selected unit challenge products, which can be used at the end of the unit when students are completing their unit challenge. In NGSS-aligned instruction, there will be a variety of opportunities for you to informally see what your students know and can do. Since the curriculum model is student-centered, there are many opportunities to see what preconceptions and/or misconceptions students have. For instance, you have the opportunity to observe these during the Uncover Your Ideas phase and the Share Your Ideas phase of each lesson. MyStar is sensitive to the needs of teachers to be able to prepare their students to do well on the Michigan Department of Education assessments, such as the M-STEP. We have been in conversation with individuals at the Michigan Department of Education, and we have provided samples of our assessments to the MDE for review and comment. The MyStar curriculum provides pre-tests and post-tests. These pre-tests and post-tests use a variety of assessment item types. For instance, they can include multiple choice items, constructed response items, drawing and graphing items, etc. The majority of the items on the pre-tests and post-tests will be two-dimensional or three-dimensional assessment tasks. This means that the assessments will involve a specific practice. The students must demonstrate their knowledge and use. This means that they must take their disciplinary core ideas and put them to use to engage in a specific science or engineering practice. The pre- and post-tests are designed to cover the unit's primary performance expectation. The extent of coverage of each performance expectation on the test will be similar to what is found in the unit. The pre- and post-test are designed to be completed in one class period. An answer key is provided for teachers to use. We use the same tests for both pre-test and post-test. This means that together, the pre- and post-tests can be used as evidence of student growth. Here is an example of an assessment task that appears on a pre-test and post-test. This is a two-dimensional assessment. It requires students to make use of their understanding of a disciplinary core idea while using a model. Students are asked to use the model in order to make a prediction about what would happen in the ecosystem if the grass was killed. Some MyStar pre-tests and post-tests include multiple choice items like this one. Others might include constructed response items. The pre-tests and post-tests come with an answer key to aid you in evaluating your students' performance. In addition to the pre- and post-tests, MyStar also provides embedded assessments. These embedded assessments are examples of formal yet formative assessments that you can use with your students. The embedded assessments always occur within the Check Your Progress phase of a lesson. Each unit has two embedded assessments, and they are always in different lessons within the unit. The embedded assessment tasks are three-dimensional, which means that they are aligned to a specific disciplinary core idea component, a specific science or engineering practice, and a specific cross-cutting concept. The assessment tasks require students to integrate these three dimensions in order to solve a problem or make sense of a phenomena. Second, these embedded assessment tasks also often use a cluster model where students are responding to multiple prompts within the same embedded assessment. This allows you to further diagnose your students' preconceptions, misconceptions, and proficiencies with the performance expectation and the three NGSS dimensions. Embedded assessments also require students to transfer what they've learned in the curriculum to a new context, or alternately, to use what they've learned in a novel way. This underscores one of the useful features of the embedded assessments, namely that they are also an opportunity for student learning. Embedded assessments provide students with an opportunity to reflect on what they've learned and what they can do. The embedded assessments are also paired with rubrics or answer keys. These rubrics and answer keys should be viewed as resources and suggestions. You can adapt them as needed to meet the needs of your students and to reflect what you are interested in assessing. This is an example of an embedded assessment that occurs in the Check Your Progress phase of Unit 6.6. In this embedded assessment, students are asked to interpret the data that's represented in the figure. The figure shows a number of different native species in the area as a function of the number of invasive species in the same area. Students are asked to use patterns in the graph to describe the relationship between the number of native species and the number of invasive species. Additionally, they are asked to use that data to make an argument about whether snarks are harming the population of native species. This embedded assessment is an example of a three-dimensional assessment. Its disciplinary core idea is ecosystem dynamics, functioning, and resilience. It discusses disruptions to biological components of an ecosystem. The science practice is analyzing and interpreting data. And the cross-cutting concept is stability and change. It shows that small changes in one part of this system can cause large changes in another part of the system. One other noteworthy feature of this embedded assessment is that this context is different than what students have been exposed to in the curriculum. They haven't been dealing with invasive snarks in Gage Lake. So, this embedded assessment requires them to transfer what they have been learning in the curriculum to a novel situation. It does not ask them to merely recall what they have already learned. Likewise, it shows how this is an example of a learning opportunity for students. In the process of responding to the embedded assessment, they further develop their ability to integrate these three NGSS dimensions to make sense of the phenomenon of invasive species. This learning opportunity is especially pronounced when students receive feedback on their responses and get a chance to reflect on their performance in the embedded assessment. In addition to the pre- and post-tests and the embedded assessments, there will also be multiple products that students prepare as culminating or ongoing activities as part of the unit challenge. These unit challenge products are opportunities for you to assess your students either informally or formally. In some units, we provide a rubric or answer key that you can use with one of the unit challenge products in order to more formally assess your students. As with the rubrics in the embedded assessments, these rubrics for the unit challenge assessments are suggestions and should be adapted as needed for your students. In summary, the MyStar curriculum provides opportunities for both formal and informal assessments. The informal assessments are available throughout all phases of the unit because the lessons and the phases within the lessons are student-centered and give you an opportunity to observe your students' competencies. In addition, MyStar also provides more formalized assessment opportunities such as the pre- and post-tests, the embedded assessments, and the unit challenge assessments. These MyStar formalized assessments include two-dimensional and three-dimensional tasks. Finally, rubrics and answer keys are provided in the curriculum when available. These are not prescriptive. Teachers should adapt these as needed for their students.